Some buildings are just stone and mortar, but every once in a while, a structure is born that's different. It becomes a character in our collective story. For 1,500 years, one building has stood at the crossroads of the world, a silent witness to the rise and fall of empires. This is its story. So let's get right to the heart of it, because this is the great mystery. How is this building even possible? I mean, think about it. You want to place a massive circular dome on top of a square room. The physics just shouldn't work. All that weight, all that force wants to push the walls out and come crashing down. So how is it still standing? It's not luck. It's because the Hagia Sophia was engineered with a series of secrets, locked into its very walls. And there are so many of these little secrets. For instance, here's a wild one. The bricks were still wet when they were laid. It was a flaw, really, a side effect of building in a hurry, but it became this incredible feature that allowed the entire building to flex and shift during earthquakes. But that's not the main story. The greatest secret, the absolute miracle, is how the building exists at all. To understand this place, you have to go back to its violent birth. This wasn't just another construction project. This was an act of pure defiance, rising from the ashes of a city that had just tried to tear itself apart. Just imagine the scene. It's 532 AD. The capital of the Byzantine Empire is in flames. A riot that started at the chariot races has turned into a full-blown revolution. The main church is a smoldering ruin, and the emperor, Justinian, is literally packing his bags, ready to flee for his life. And then, his wife, the Empress Theodora, delivers this legendary line. She basically tells him, "I'd rather die an empress right here than live as a fugitive on the run." Her courage completely changes the course of history. Justinian stays, he crushes the revolt, and he decides he's not just going to rebuild the church. No, he's going to build something the world has never ever seen before. And look at these dates, less than 6 years. I mean, that is an unbelievably short amount of time. But the speed hides the real miracle. Justinian wasn't just rebuilding, he was demanding his architects solve an engineering riddle that had stumped the Romans for centuries. How do you place a perfect circle, a piece of the heavens, on top of a square room without the whole thing collapsing under its own immense weight? So when Justinian walked into his finished creation and said this, he wasn't just bragging. He knew his architects had cracked the code. They'd solved the impossible with a revolutionary idea called the pendentive. If you look up at the ceiling, you can see them. A circle doesn't naturally sit on a square, right? So those curved triangular pieces of masonry in the corners, those are the pendentives. They're the magic trick. They act like a funnel, catching the entire weight of that circular dome and channeling it down perfectly into 4 massive pillars. It was the solution everyone had been searching for, the secret to hanging the heavens on earth. And that genius design would be tested for the next 1,000 years. Earthquakes, wars, the fall of an empire, but that dome held. And in 1453, it would face its most dramatic transformation yet, when a new empire with a new faith came knocking. When the Ottoman conqueror, Sultan Mehmed II, finally broke through the city's famous walls, he rode directly here. But instead of destroying this icon of a conquered people, he was awestruck. He recognized its power, its genius. He stopped the looting and claimed this architectural marvel for Islam. The building's whole identity shifted profoundly, but instead of tearing it down, the Ottomans actually added to its strength. They built these huge buttresses on the outside to give it even more support. And they added the 4 iconic minarets, anchoring that ancient dome to the earth and forever changing the city's skyline. Centuries pass. The Ottoman Empire itself falls, and a new, secular nation rises from its ashes. And it's in the 20th century that the second part of the Hagia Sophia's engineering genius, a secret that had been hiding in plain sight all along, is finally revealed to the world. The founder of modern Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, he makes this radical decision. He declares the building a museum, a monument for all of humanity. And with that, restorers begin the very delicate work of chipping away the plaster that had covered the Christian art for centuries. Can you just imagine that moment? As the layers of plaster come off, the building's first life starts to re-emerge in shimmering gold. But as the light hits these ancient mosaics, it also illuminates the second part of the dome's secret. You have to look closely at its base. Justinian's architects pierced it with a ring of 40 windows. This was an unbelievably daring move. Not only did it make the dome lighter, reducing its crushing weight, it created this unforgettable illusion. The light streams in, making this massive dome appear to float, totally weightless on a halo of divine light. So there you have it, the two secrets to its survival. The absolute genius of the Pendentives solves the weight problem, and the incredible daring of the 40 windows makes it float. These innovations are what allowed it to endure long enough to house two faiths, two histories, and two entire empires, all under one miraculous dome. Which, of course, brings us to today, because the story of the Hagia Sophia is a living one. Its identity has never been static, and let me tell you, its journey is far from over. You see, its brilliant engineering is the whole reason it has survived long enough to become this mirror, reflecting the powers that have ruled this city: a Byzantine cathedral, an Ottoman mosque, a secular museum, and then, in 2020, a mosque once again. Its core structure is so timeless, so strong, that new identities can just be layered on top, adding to its impossibly rich history. And so we're left with this question. This unbreakable survivor, born of riot and pure engineering genius, has witnessed it all. The ancient riddle was solved, and that dome is still standing, still floating on its halo of light. What will it see next? Whatever it is, the secrets locked in its walls ensure it will be there to see it.